Today we're making pizza stuffed bagel balls, and the first thing you need are some pepperonis. You can use the mini kind or just chopped up regular pepperonis. Then you're going to add some cream cheese. And finally, mozzarella. Once we have gotten all of this in the bowl, we are just gonna roll it into some little balls that end up looking like this. And pro tip, freezing them really helps. Pronounce lasagna. Lasagna, there you go. So they look like this once you roll them up, and freezing them is a really helpful tip for this recipe because the dough is easier to form around them. So what we're going to do once we have these balls is mix some almond flour. I have cooked so many of your recipes, love them. Just bought your book, going to check it out at the gym. Hey, thank you so much, Lisa. Have you ever made keto banana bread? I have not. Anyway, so once you've made those balls, you're going to mix some almond flour with a little baking powder sprinkled in with Greek yogurt. And I have a tip for anyone who's like into tracking their calories, tracking their macros. So hold on, I have to remove somebody from the live. All right. Got your book today. Thank you, Mr. Cinderby. All right, so a tip for Greek yogurt. If you're tracking your calories, even if you're not, this is helpful. Dressings are like the greatest thing in the world. You know, if you eat a salad and you put a ton of ranch dressing on it, it's going to make the salad taste 1,000 times better. But one tip to help you add a bunch of dressing without it being 1,000 calories is take your dressing, right, and mix half of it with like a big spoonful of plain Greek yogurt. Stir it up really good. You can put it on your salad. You can like add it to a wrap. And it's half the calories, but you still get like a very similar taste. So that's just a piece of advice. I actually did it the other day. We went to this place called Salad to Go. And I wanted to try their like, it was a jalapeno ranch, but I was like, man, I'm tracking my calories. I don't want to add like a ton of extra calories today on something I really don't need because I wasn't craving it that bad. So I mixed it with yogurt, and even Anna was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Bought your book, so excited to get going with recipes. Wow, thank you guys so much. If you don't have it, just go to Amazon, type in Carefree Keto, you can get it there. All right, so we're making this dough, and I think I added a little too much yogurt. But I'm gonna show you guys another cool trick with this. So, how's the new house? Thank you, Mel. The new house is amazing. I'm honestly, hold on, I'm struggling with what to do right now. So, I definitely need more flour, more almond flour, but my hands are all messy and I just don't feel like making the journey to the pantry. So I'm just gonna rinse them really quick. I'll be right back. Watching from Puerto Rico, love your recipes. Shout out to Puerto Rico. All right, so we have our almond flour. I'm gonna dump a little extra in here. And here's my tip regarding this like yogurt dough. So the bulk of this dough is made out of almond flour. However, the texture is not perfect. If you make this recipe with real flour, it tastes so freaking good. So what I would do, if I were you and I had 3 or 4 carbs to spare and you're not like allergic to flour, you're using like half a cup of almond flour, but just add a little half tablespoon of regular flour, and it will be like a glue that makes the dough much more like regular dough without adding a ton of carbs. And I mean, if you make like 4 bagel bites out of this and you did half a tablespoon of flour or 1 tablespoon of flour, you're adding like an extra carb per bagel bite. So it's really not something to stress over. All right, anyway, what you do now, once you have made the dough, this is what it looks like. You are going to take your frozen balls of cream cheese, mozzarella, and pepperoni. Where is the apron from? I got it from Amazon. Just put it in there and then form the dough around it. Just like this. Boom. So you get these balls. And then you can spray some avocado oil on them or some butter. Let me close the lid to this yogurt so it doesn't go in here. And you can make a couple of these. Then put some everything bagel on it. I really need to just rinse my hands off. I had this idea of like getting a wet paper towel and using it to rinse my hands so I don't have to constantly step away to like rinse them off. But it's not doing a very good job. Okay, boom. So let's grab some everything but the bagel. Put a little bit of that on there, or a lot. And put this in the air fryer along with the other ones you make for about 8 minutes at 350. Boom. And I'll show you guys what you get because I have some pre-made ones right here. I feel like I need to remove more negative commenters. Honestly, I love everybody. I think that anyone who comes in here and says negative things is probably a good person deep down. They might just need a hug. There's no sense in getting upset at it. So if someone on here ever is like attacking you, just know that person's probably struggling. They probably need a hug. And if you can just respond with kindness or ignore it, you will be a much happier person than if you get like upset with the negative people, because at the end of the day, all they're after is upsetting you. So the part of them that is struggling, if you either ignore it or respond with kindness, you can make the part of them that's struggling like feel a little better, and then it won't have so much power over them, and you know, they can get back to living their normal life and not saying mean things on the internet. Okay, so this is what you get when they're done. Here's the better looking one. And I warmed these up a couple minutes ago, so I do not know what kind of cheese pull we're going to get. I really hope we get a good one. When I made the reel for these, the cheese pull was amazing, but they have been setting for a little while, so I don't know if we're gonna get a cheese pull, but we're gonna try. Okay, we have a little cheese pull going, not a great one. Anyway, it's kinda not that great on the inside, but when you taste it, let's see if this one's any better. This one's a little better. This one was like my overly stuffed one that I already cut in half. And I'm telling you guys, adding a tablespoon of flour makes the dough so much less crumbly. Literally like a 1/3 cup of almond flour with a tablespoon or 2 of regular flour, and the dough just holds together so much better. All right, yeah, this was definitely a cheese pull L, but we're gonna taste it. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is so amazing. This is so ridiculously good. It's like that cheesy garlic bread I made the other day. Is your whole diet keto? So currently, no. I still eat all of the recipes that I make, and I did lose 80 pounds just doing keto, and I'll always post keto recipes, but I currently eat like fruit and potatoes because I'm very active, I do a lot of working out, which you don't have to do if you're active, but it can be okay. So I currently am not on like a strict keto diet, but if you looked at my macros, I'm not really going over like 20% of my calories from carbs. So it still falls into the low carb category. And dirty keto is a little different than that. Those are like old terms from when keto was really popular. But basically all you need to know is I eat the recipes I post. My macros are pretty like skewed towards low carb, but I'm not necessarily doing keto because I don't find it necessary for my goals. However, when I was losing 80 pounds, it was extremely helpful. And the reason that's true is because when you cut out an entire macro from your diet, like carbs, which is like the only macro I would ever suggest cutting out of your diet, because if you cut out all fat, your hormones are gonna get messed up. If you cut out all protein, your body's going to shrivel away and you're gonna become very unhealthy. But if you cut out carbs, there are tons of people who thrive without carbs. And if you are one of them, like I was, it just makes the process of like following a diet for weight loss so much easier, because when you're starting out and you're addicted to junk food, basically all of that is off the table. So you feel full so much faster. So your food choices become so much more limited. And the process of weight loss kind of just like becomes like automated for you. It's like I don't have to think about how much I ate today because I know I'm getting enough protein, because without carbs, my options are like steak, eggs, maybe some fun keto treats like this. So I know I'm getting enough protein, but I know I'm getting enough fat for like my hormones to be healthy. And then it just makes the process of weight loss a little more stress-free. However, there are other people where that's the total opposite experience, and not being able to eat carbs makes them want to binge. And if that's you, I would like kind of dig deep inside and figure out, you know, like, do I need to do keto? Do I need to follow some strict diet? Or could I just track my calories? Or could I just intuitively eat? But I will say, before you commit to like an intuitive eating journey, most of the people who tell you that intuitive eating will help you lose weight are naturally thin people. Like, there are so many flexible dieting coaches on Instagram that you follow, and they're like, you know, eat junk food in moderation. It's okay to do. And while that's true, those people are like athletes and personal trainers who are so far ahead of the rest of us in like their physical health journey that it just is so unrelatable. Like when I was eating 2 blizzards a day from Dairy Queen, I kind of had to just like abstain completely, or else like having 1 serving of junk food a day would have been such a tease that I would have just like binged every night. Whereas like abstaining from it gave me some distance and then helped me reshape my relationship with food. And now I can eat that stuff in moderation. So just something to think about. But all right, guys, I'll be back on soon. Maybe not tomorrow, but definitely next week. So I love you. I believe in you. Bye.